Hello everyone. This video simulates the current conflict going on between Israel and Hamas. I'm not going into political details and just focusing on military aspect. Hamas started this conflict by firing a number of low-tech rockets from within Gaza on different Israeli cities. Unfortunately for them, Israel has a pretty good air defense system comprising of Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow for protection against such primitive rockets, many other types of artillery, and longer range guided missiles. Due to limitation of Command Modern Operations database, currently it is not possible to simulate this war scenario to exact details. So I have made some modifications to use alternate weapon systems. For example, there is no option for Qassam short-range rockets or other longer-range rockets which Hamas has stockpiled with some help from Iran and Syria. So in this simulation, Hamas is armed with one battery of BM-21 Grad MLRS, which has 6 launchers with 40 rockets each. In real life, they are firing a bunch of 122 rockets from a variety of crude launchers. So even this is a huge upgrade for them. They have 4 different types of Qassam rockets with range between 4 and 20 kilometers. Additionally, they have Fajr 5 with 70 to 80 kilometers range and 90 kilogram warhead. They have also used A120 rockets and M302 rocket with 302 millimeter diameter, 150 kilometers range and 150 kilogram warhead. Since these are not available in the database, I am using Soviet era Frog 7 rocket with range of around 70 kilometers and 400 kilogram warhead. Apart from that, Hamas has a few recon teams in Israeli territories which can be seen as red markers outside Gaza. They really aren't involved in the conflict. They are there just to provide visual reconnaissance to Hamas. So their targets are these Israeli buildings scattered all over the map. Israeli defense consists of a few batteries of Iron Dome, David Sling, and a couple of arrow batteries. As you will see, even this is not enough to protect all their assets against these primitive rockets fired in sufficiently large numbers. So Israeli Air Force can hit back with 3 squadrons of F-16 and F-15s armed with a variety of ammunition like Griffin, Spice and Maverick, mostly for high precision strikes without any collateral damage. Additionally, there are a few UAVs providing real-time intelligence from air. Hamas has a few strong underground bunkers and a few overgrown buildings which can be hit by Israeli planes. But bombing everything in sight is not an option due to high density of civilian population around. I have put in a few civilians in Gaza near a few such targets which can be seen once you zoom in to the map. So this scenario starts with Hamas firing a bunch of rockets at Israeli cities from within Gaza. So Israeli air defense batteries will try to intercept them and will hopefully shoot down a few. Then the Israelis hit back with their own bombing raids. Now you can see Hamas getting ready to hit the targets in Israel. The BM-21 Grad Frog 7 missiles, they've already left their launchers and will be detected by Israel shortly. So once I start this game, the Israeli air defense network will detect these targets and will probably try to intercept them with Arrow, David Sling and Iron Dome. In this game, BM-21 can't be intercepted by the Iron Dome or for any other air defense system for that matter. So most of the BM-21 will go through. Now you can see the Frog 7, they've already left their launchers and have been detected by Iron Dome. Visually, hmm. ah, the BM-21 here, they have hit their targets without any interception by any Iron Dome missile. Well, that was to be expected. It's just a limitation of the software. This Iron Dome is also not very useful against this Frog 7. So most of the interceptions will probably be done by Arrow or David's link. And this Frog 7 has already reached the speed of 1500 knots, around 2700 kilometers, and its maximum altitude should be around 15 kilometers. So both are beyond the capabilities of Iron Dome. It's actually more than 15 kilometers. So this Falcon AEW, it's also detecting some of them. Neither the Arrow nor David's Sling have fired any of their interceptors yet. The first interceptors have left their launchers now. Let's see if they'll manage to intercept any of these missiles. On the David Sling and Arrow, they both have launched some interceptors, but some of the frogs, they're already beyond their range and have already started to hit their targets. The targets here are a few large buildings with no armor to speak of. They will receive quite a bit of damage with even 1 or 2 strikes. The Arrow has been able to intercept a few Frog 7, but most have gone through. In the message logs, you can see some of the reports about weapon strikes and intercepts. There have been 8 direct hits. If it was real life, there would have been a lot of casualties. I don't think Hamas can fire so many Frog 7s in real life. I had to use them because there is no other option. This is the least powerful missile that one can use here. And that also shows you how difficult is it to intercept any ballistic target, more so when there are such a large number of them. So I think these are the last Frog 7s that Hamas has left. After that, they won't have anything to fire back. The David Sling, they have launched 2 missile interceptors, but they failed to hit the Frog 7. And I think it will hit the target. This part of the video shows the counterattack led by F-15s of the Israeli Air Force. These are armed with GBU-139 guided bombs with a weight of around 129 kilograms. They can be launched from quite a bit of distance, I think 70-80 kilometers. So most of these will be launched from as far as possible for the first wave, and the second wave will be launched after the first targets have been hit or missed. These bombs have a CEP of around 5 and 20 kilometers for most of their targets. Some of their targets, if they are in open, like the vehicles, they will be hit and destroyed. But if they are trying to hit a heavy reinforced bunker, they won't have much success. So I'm not using them on buildings or bunkers. So now you can see the bombs are already in the air and they are approaching their targets pretty fast. I've actually sped up the game by 5 times, so it's a bit faster than it will be in real life. The first of the bombs have already entered Gaza Strip, and have started to hit their targets. We'll be able to see their effects in a few seconds. The first phase is very nearly finished, and most of them have hit their targets with fairly good accuracy. It's not perfect. Perhaps if the bombs were launched a bit closer to their target, they would have hit with a bit more accuracy. But now you can see that it's showing that it's missed by 7 meters. It's good in 120 kilogram is good enough for a soft target in the open, but not so much for a hardened shelter. Now second and third waves are already here, and after that the next wave of attack will be led by F-15s again, but with heavier bombs weighing around 984 kg. So these will be reserved for reinforced targets such as the ammunition bunkers. But even these bunkers need more than one hit to be destroyed completely. Another limitation with these bombs is that there is limited range. The planes have to come quite close to launch them. But fortunately for Israel, Gaza and Hamas don't have any air defense weapons, so Israelis can do whatever they want. Those green lines that you saw earlier, they were the attack vectors. The F-15s are almost over their targets, and they have started to launch their bomb now. You will see some of this in 3D view in later part of the video. These laser-guided bombs have hit most of their targets with fairly good accuracy, and few of the bunkers and buildings have already been destroyed. One interesting thing is that no civilian has been hit yet. The green dots, the green truck-like marks on the map, they are the civilians, and most of them are very close to the targets that have been hit by Israeli jets. Yet most of the targets have taken quite a bit of damage, but civilians are still okay. I think most of the jets have already dropped all of the bombs that they had. Now if I want to destroy the rest of the targets, I'll have to launch more sorties. Now for the remaining targets, we have a few F-16s armed with Spice 2000 and Griffin on Mark 84 bombs. I think they should be enough to destroy most of the remaining targets, but I'm not very hopeful about being able to destroy the reinforced underground bunkers. They'll probably destroying them with these resources will probably take a bit more luck than skill at this point. Now the F-16 are on their attack run. The brownish red circle that you see, that's their attack radius, and once they are within their attack radius, they will launch their bombs, and hopefully most of them will destroy their targets. It looks like a few of them have hit successfully. One or two have missed already. Now in a few seconds I'll shift to Hamas and see the damage from their side. This frog battery, 50% their launchers have been destroyed. This bunker has taken very minimal damage, that's 14%. The next one even less, 6%. Then this one is nearly destroyed. It also has a fire going on. There were 3 other bunkers which have been destroyed completely. They are not visible on the map. And 2 buildings which were attacked in first or maybe second wave. They are gone completely. Now, sorry, this was the last wave, not the previous one. They have launched Spice 2000, I think, from their maximum range, and I think they are meant for what, artillery, BM-21. Yeah, that battery is gone completely, and this frog battery is completely destroyed too. So overall, it was a pretty, better raid than I expected. Most of the assigned targets have been destroyed, apart from couple of reinforced bunkers. So this ends the this part of the video. Now the next part of this video will be the 3D version of this whole mission in TacView. For TacView, I had to run this scenario again, so it's not completely in sync with the this CMO mission that you saw just now, but it's close enough. This is 3D part of this video created in TacView. Red units are Hamas and the blue are Israeli. Some of the unit views are generic and not accurate, but let us just ignore it for now. As you saw in the previous part, Hamas will start by firing their Frog 7 and Grad 122mm rockets. Israel will try to intercept them using their air defense units, then try to destroy Hamas targets inside Gaza by precision airstrikes. Like I mentioned earlier, this 3D part is another playthrough of the mission created in CMO. So this is not in sync with the actions that you saw earlier, but close enough for the purpose. That's it from me for now. Please enjoy and leave your suggestions or feedback if you have time. Thank you.